Cops pin black man to ground in park. Blood drains when he pulls out 4-star general credentials. The afternoon sun hung heavy over Memorial Park, turning the grass a brilliant, almost blinding green. Children laughed in the distance, chasing a soccer ball that rolled too close to the duck pond. Marcus Hayes sat alone on a weathered bench near the old oak tree, the one locals called the wishing tree, because of the ribbons people tied to its lower branches. He wore a plain gray hoodie, faded jeans, and running shoes that had seen better days. His hands rested calmly in his lap, but his eyes scanned the park with the quiet vigilance of someone who had spent decades reading landscapes for threats. He wasn't there to jog or feed the ducks. He was there to remember. Marcus had come to this same bench every year on the anniversary of his son's birthday. Jamal would have been 32 today. Instead, the young man had been taken at 19 in a crossfire on a street not far from here, during a summer that felt like it would never end. Marcus never spoke about it much anymore. Words couldn't carry the weight. So he sat, let the breeze move through the leaves, and let the ache settle into something he could breathe around. That's when the shouting started. A group of teenagers, 4 boys, loud, laughing too hard, had wandered onto the path, phones out, filming each other doing flips off the low stone wall by the fountain. One of them bumped into an older white woman carrying a canvas tote bag full of groceries. Apples rolled across the grass. She yelped. The boys froze. Then one of them, maybe 16, braids tight, hoodie up, reached to help pick them up. The woman flinched back. Don't touch my things. The boy paused, hands raised. I was just. Get away from me. Her voice cracked high with fear. The other boys stepped closer, voices rising. Lady, chill, he was helping. Someone must have called 911. Or maybe multiple someones. Within minutes, 2 patrol cars screeched into the lot, lights flashing but no sirens. 4 officers stepped out. 2 white, 1 Latino, 1 black, hands already on belts. Marcus watched it unfold the way he had watched too many things unfold. The teenagers backed up. The woman pointed, words tumbling fast. They surrounded me. One grabbed my bag. That's not what happened, the boy with braids said, voice steady but eyes wide. We were just. Hands where we can see them, the lead officer barked. Tall, broad-shouldered, face flushed. All of you, now. The boys complied slowly, but the one who had tried to help, the one still holding an apple, hesitated a second too long. The officer moved fast, grabbing his arm, twisting it behind his back. The boy gasped. Another officer stepped in, pushing him toward the ground. Marcus stood up, not quickly, not dramatically, just stood. Sir, stay back, one of the officers called without looking. Marcus kept walking, calm steps, hands visible. Officers, he said, voice low, carrying the way a command still carries even in civilian clothes. There's no need for that hold. The boy wasn't resisting. The lead officer glanced over, irritated. This doesn't concern you. Sit down. Marcus stopped 10 feet away. It concerns me when I see unnecessary force being used on children who were trying to help someone. The woman clutched her tote tighter. They scared me. The boy on the ground winced as the cuff clicked. I didn't do anything. Marcus took another step. Let him up. Let's talk this through like adults. The second officer, younger, nervous, moved to block him. Back up, sir, or you'll be detained too. Marcus met his eyes. I'm not here to cause trouble. But I won't watch this. The lead officer straightened, hand drifting toward his taser. Last warning. Step back. Marcus didn't. Instead, he reached slowly, very slowly, into his hoodie pocket. All 4 officers tensed. He pulled out a slim leather wallet, opened it, held it forward. The laminated card inside caught the sunlight. 4 stars gleamed in gold against deep blue. Below them, Hayes, Marcus T. General, United States Army, retired. The credentials of a 4-star general, earned over 43 years of service, 2 combat tours, countless classified briefings, and 1 long, unbroken thread of duty. The park seemed to hold its breath. The lead officer's face changed first. Color drained so fast it looked like someone had pulled a plug. His hand fell away from the taser. The others stared, mouths slack. Sir, the young officer whispered. Marcus kept his voice even. These young men were not a threat. The lady was startled. No crime was committed. Let the boy stand up. The officer holding the teenager released the cuffs immediately, stepping back as if burned. The boy rubbed his wrist, eyes darting between the ground and Marcus. The woman blinked rapidly. I didn't mean. I'm sorry. Marcus turned to her. Ma'am, fear makes us all smaller sometimes. But kindness makes us bigger. He looked at the teenagers. You boys all right? They nodded, stunned silent. Marcus closed the wallet, slipped it back into his pocket. Officers, he said quietly, a word. They gathered around him like schoolboys caught in the principal's office. He spoke low, so only they could hear. I've worn the uniform longer than most of you have been alive. I've seen good cops and bad ones. I've seen fear turn good men into something else in seconds. Today, you almost crossed that line. But you didn't. You stopped. That's what matters now. He glanced at the boy with braids. His name is Elijah. He's 16. Wants to be a paramedic someday. The others are his cousins. They come here every Saturday to practice parkour because their apartment complex doesn't have a yard. The officers shifted, shame settling heavy on their shoulders. Marcus continued. I lost my son in these streets years ago. Wrong place, wrong time. I don't want any more mothers burying children because someone was scared and reacted first. He looked each man in the eye. You have a chance right now to be the kind of officers people remember for de-escalating, not escalating. Take it. The lead officer swallowed hard. Yes, sir. General, sir, I'm sorry. We misread the situation. Marcus nodded once. Then fix it. The officer turned to Elijah and the others. Gentlemen, you're free to go. No charges. And, I'm sorry for the way we handled that. Elijah stood straighter. Thank you. The woman stepped forward, tentative. Young man. Elijah, I shouldn't have yelled. I was afraid, but that wasn't your fault. Here. She pulled a crisp 20 from her purse. For the apples. Or, whatever you want. Elijah hesitated, then took it gently. Thank you, ma'am. Marcus watched the group disperse slowly, the officers climbing back into their cars without lights this time, the teenagers walking off together, heads higher, the woman gathering her groceries with shaking hands but a softer expression. He returned to the bench. Sat down. The ribbons on the wishing tree fluttered in the breeze. A small girl, no more than 7, approached shyly, holding a dandelion. Mister, did you make them stop fighting? Marcus smiled, small and real. I just reminded them who we all are underneath the uniforms and the fear. She held out the dandelion. For you. He took it. Thank you, sweetheart. She ran back to her mother, waving. Marcus twirled the flower between his fingers. The ache in his chest was still there, always would be, but for the first time in years, it shared space with something warmer, something like hope. The sun dipped lower, the park quieted, and General Marcus Hayes, retired 4-star, sat beneath the wishing tree, holding a dandelion, watching children play, knowing that sometimes the greatest command isn't given in a war room, it's given in a moment of quiet humanity, when someone chooses to see another person clearly, and everything changes.